Hey, welcome back to this mini-series on blend modes. If you're just joining and new to blending, then definitely check out the earlier videos on blending basics and the darkening and lightening blend modes. The material covered in those videos comes up a lot here, and I'm going to assume that you are familiar with those concepts. Now let's dive into the contrast enhancing blend modes, which are overlay, soft light, and hard light. First up, overlay. Once again, I've got my base image, and sitting on top of that, I've got the blend layer. And if I switch the blend layer off, you can see that it's sat half on the image and half on a white background strip. Switch it back on quickly. And okay, so how does overlay work? Well, it's like a combination of the darkening mode, multiply, and the lightening mode, screen. Overlay looks at the base image, and if the base color is darker than 50%, then it applies a blend mode like multiply. If the base color is lighter than 50% gray, then it applies a blend mode like screen. So just as a reminder, if I flip the blend mode onto multiply, we can see that with a white blend layer, we go from transparent and seeing the image all the way down to fully blocking it out and black. Flip to screen and we have almost the opposite. We've got transparent when the blend color is black, and take it back upwards, and eventually we fully block out the image with white. Now, if I flip over to overlay, you can see that the darker areas of the image are transparent, whereas the lighter areas of the image are almost white. And then if I take the blend layer down towards black, then the darker areas of the image are almost black, but I can still see the lighter areas of the image. So hopefully you can see how with overlay we are a combination of multiply and screen. We're somehow landing in the middle. We never quite block out the image in the extreme. And this can be seen again with the default blend color. Now if I scroll down and zoom out just a little bit, I've got the same image here with the multiply applied and screen applied with the same blend color. And if we look at overlay, we can see that it's somehow halfway in between screen and multiply. Darker areas of the image become darker via multiply, and lighter areas of the image become lighter via screen. So contrast is enhanced by the blend color. Next, we have soft light. Now, soft light works in a similar way to overlay in the sense that different blend modes are applied depending on the brightness of the base color. So if the base color is darker than 50% gray, then we apply a blend like color burn. And if the base is lighter than 50% gray, then we apply a blend like color dodge. Now, it's not a direct application of color burn and dodge. The effect is less intense in both cases, but conceptually it's similar. So if I just select the blend layer and flip over to color burn, when I go from white to black, we go from transparent all the way to black. Flip over to color dodge and we're transparent, and take it back up to white and we're basically white. So again, when I flip to soft light, we have this dynamic where we never fully lose the picture going from black to white, and actually when I'm kind of mid-grey, it's almost like nothing is applied at all. Flip over to our default blend color, and then if I zoom out a little bit and go down to burn and dodge, you can see again that soft light is somehow a mix between the dynamics of burn and dodge, although it's much less intense. The lighter areas are subtly highlighted and the darker areas are injected with color from the blend color. So that's soft light. It enhances the contrast and highlights, but in a more natural and less intense way than using color burn or color dodge directly. Finally, we have hard light. Now, hard light also works in a similar way to overlay, except this time, rather than applying a blend depending on the brightness of the base color, we apply a blend depending on the brightness of the blend color. So if the blend color is darker than 50% gray, then we apply a blend like multiply. If the blend color is lighter than 50% gray, then we apply a blend like screen. Now, I think this is best demonstrated by going straight to our default blend color. So I'll just flip this over to hard light and then select our default blend. And then if I zoom out and we compare to multiply and screen, you can see that if I take the blend color more in the brighter direction, it looks more like screen. If I take it in the darker direction, it looks more like multiply. And back to our default blend, you can see that whilst multiply generally makes the base image darker and screen generally makes the base image lighter, hard light increases the contrast with quite a harsh application of the blend color. And if I scroll up slightly and just switch off color burn and color dodge so that we can compare against soft light, you can see that hard light is a much more aggressive contrast enhancing mode than soft light. That's it for this video on contrast enhancing blend modes. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe for more tips on using Framer. Coming very soon, we have videos on the difference and exclusion blend modes. See you soon.